Hey guys, this is John here in Los Angeles with the Alpha Channel update for Friday, October 11th, 2024. And today we are starting with the Yggdrasil deck. Today's card is pretty cool. Today's card is Brock, Master Craftsman and Diligence. Brock. And I love how, take a look at this, either he's a giant or he's created a giant miniature town. Either of these is pretty cool. Whichever way you want to interpret this card, it's pretty cool. So yesterday when we started with Tomb Raider, I didn't even realize that there is a new animated series. I think it's Amazon or Netflix, I don't know which. But there is a brand new Tomb Raider, not Danger Girl, like I said yesterday, brand new Tomb Raider animated series out right now. And yesterday we did number 33. In the Norwegian one, it's number 21. So the Norwegian series lost 12 issues for some reason. I'm guessing some artist-writer combination did not sign a contract to have their work printed in another country. And so those cats in Norway missed 12 issues. This is the one we're looking at today. This is number 13. We're working backwards. We have 33/21, 13, and 5. Excuse me for 1 second. I gotta sneeze. So, Tomb Raider. Excuse me for stepping off camera for a second. 5, 13, and 33 is the numbers that we have. Today's number 13, written by Dan Jurgens and drawn by Andy Park. And the fascinating thing about this is that this is 2001. The last one was 2003, number 33. And the revival issues were 2013. The Comicsgate stuff is brand new. And what I mean to talk about, also we are going to look at this. We are going to open this up probably today. This one got cracked when I mailed it out to somebody. This one is perfect, but this one got cracked. So we're going to open this up. This is a modern comic from 2019. And you can chart the culture war in early 2000s television shows, especially long-running shows like Stargate and Supernatural. Supernatural is probably the best example of all the shows from beginning to end. And you can watch how these 80s kids become 2000s woke, and everything that changes along the way. The characters change, how the culture around them changes. But this is Tomb Raider. This is a perfect comic book, and this is number 13. So they had a style, they had a formula that absolutely worked. Splash page, Lara Croft climbing a building. She could be climbing a mountain. She could be swimming, she could be doing anything. She's doing something. There's two kinds of special forces: direct action and instruction. So you can go, if you're in the Spec Ops, you can go to a country and teach these Viet Cong or the North Vietnamese. I think the North Vietnamese were the communists. So teach the Southern Vietnamese, the capitalist Vietnamese, how to fight their communist brothers, or you could fight their communist brothers yourself. I think when we think of Spec Ops, we all think it's like G.I. Joe, but mostly it's teaching. The most important thing about the military, I said before that the most important lessons I learned were in high school wrestling, and that stands for two reasons. One, I'm going to tell you the two most important lessons I got in high school wrestling. From the same coach, he was a football coach as well as the wrestling coach. He said, one, if you're going to miss practice, that happens. If you tell me ahead of time, that's a reason. If you tell me afterwards, it's an excuse. And I don't accept excuses. So that was significant. That's a Marine Corps type lesson. The Marine Corps, you don't have that opportunity. The other thing he said was, a master of an art knows all the moves. That's like he didn't say the Gracies, obviously. There's an Iowa family team, wrestling team, like state wrestling team that's super famous, and I don't remember their name right now. And he said they know all the moves. But That's to master it. To be an artist, you just need the fundamentals. And if you know the fundamentals, then if you know the fundamentals and you've got talent and discipline, you can do anything. So anyone can teach the fundamentals, was the other part of that was really important. And the fundamentals are on display here. These people have this is Top Cow, Witchblade. Remember, this is Lara Croft is Witchblade, is Danger Girl. It's all the same thing. It's all Aeon Flux. It's all, look at this is Catwoman. Catwoman with a ponytail, and she's not even wearing the shorts and the crop top. You can't go wrong with this, right? She's stealing from the Yakuza in Tokyo. And so this is 8 pages. I looked at this because I wanted to see how long it was before something happened. Something else happened. So this is like a beginning of a cartoon. This is a perfect Batman cartoon with Catwoman, right? She's robbing the Yakuza in Tokyo. And she has in her ear, she has the man in the chair, sort of like the fat kid in the Spider-Man movies. Or Microchip with Punisher. Or whoever else. Barbara Gordon with Nightwing, or Cassandra Cain. And the Yakuza see her. One of the Yakuza guys is sneaking into this room with his girlfriend, and they catch her and they open fire on her. That's back here. And she runs across between the buildings, and just look at that. How can you go wrong? She steals the Yakuza's jacket. And her helper is in the car, and she is, it's not fun for her. She says, next time maybe you can get some help. What about that guy, Cody Chase? I think that's his name. And so that's this. So then we get a commercial, right? There's even a page of an ad, and then we come back to the show after the commercial, and this is the new character. Again, a full page. A full page for the new character. And this is 8 sheets, counting the cover. The cover is 9. The cover is about maybe 30, 40 pound. These are 20-pound sheets. Not really that glossy. I think it's matte printing. Cover might be, the cover's got this foil bit. But, so here we get this huge, this is Andy Park drawing. Dan Jurgens writing. Not too much writing. This is Lara Croft interrupting an ex-boyfriend whose help she needs because she needs someone in the field with her. A capable hand, sort of Drake's Uncharted, And she's disgusted, but she's disgusted by how messy his place is, but she loves that he's got a picture of her. He makes a pass at her, and she's disgusted by that too. I think this is 6 pages we get of the two of them together. Another commercial for Witchblade. Witchblade had a TV show, you guys might remember. It was actually the biggest TV show at the time until the star was like, and I remember how poorly they dressed her. She was in like baggy overalls and baggy jeans and stuff. It was a really bad production. But here we get Laura and Chase. I think his name is Cody or Chase, but they're out in the field now. So you could have cut the whole scene, like you could have gotten the pizza and missed that whole last scene and not missed any action. Here we get a little bit of a flashback, how they know each other, or what happened the last time they met each other. And I love the big moon. The other one had a big moon on it. This is, look, why do you have to go back 20 years, 22 years, 23 years to get a perfect comic book? Perfect. This is a perfect comic book. There's nothing, this is the James Bond bit. He's dressed up, and she goes home to her hotel room at the casino to wait for him, and he never shows. And here she is naked. She wakes up in the morning, not naked, but in her underwear. We don't have to see her doing her laundry. This is perfectly fine. What's wrong with James Bond? What's wrong with Danger Girl? What's wrong with Tomb Raider? And so here they are out in the field again. They're investigating whatever in the south of Amazon somewhere. And this is a great mic drop ending. A conquistador attacks them. This is fucking awesome. Why do we have to go back over 20 years old to get a perfect comic book? What the fuck happened in the last 20 years? I'll tell you what happened in the last 20 years. 2001, The Jews orchestrated the bombing of the Twin Towers and changed our culture forever. That was the new JFK. They murdered JFK and gave us Vietnam. They blew up the Twin Towers, gave us Iraq and Afghanistan. And now we're in the new Weimar Republic, and we're gonna have some final solutions. This was perfect. There's no race trauma. There's no forced DEI in this. Her partner is a black girl. It looks like, or at least a fat girl. So, we got some Yakuza action. Yakuza are awesome. The 893, the Worthless Hand. Hachiku-san. If you don't know what that means, that's the numbers. Yakuza is like a card game like blackjack, and they consider themselves the Worthless Hand, the 893, Yakuza, Hachiku-san. And I mean, this is an awesome comic book. This is a perfect comic book. What happened? In 20 years, the whole fucking world fell apart. You're not even allowed to do this anymore. This is white supremacy. When are they going to make Laura Croft a fat black chick? What about a fat black dude who thinks he's a female? How far away is that? Who speaks, like the Queen's English. And so let's do this. We're going to read it next time, but let's open it right now. And so what right do I have to talk about culture? It's my culture. I'm an author. This is my culture. It's my language. You Jews don't own this language. You don't own white culture. Fuck you. Get out of it. I'm taking it back. I'm going to have nothing to do with you. I'm never going to take Jew money. Never. Let's do this with the blade backwards. I'm sure it'll come out now. Here we go. This is a Jenny Frisson cover. Wow, it's still really sealed nicely in this box. I think I probably paid $100 for this. I decided, while I thought I was going to be rich over the past week, that I would continue to do this channel and that I would buy expensive comics and open them and look at them. Like drinking champagne. Like, this is the champagne of life that I want, is nice comics. I'm not into cigars. I'm not into alcohol. But I would buy Red Raven #1 and review it here on the channel for you guys. I would buy, Conan. We're going to do Conan #1, the Barry Windsor Smith. I've never had that in my hands, and that's one I would really like to have. This is not working out the way I'd planned. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this and put this wrecking bar on it, and I'm going to actually cut this plastic. I know you all can't see this, but this Murphy knife is featured in my books. I just listened to this again the other day. Ashley Fox gets in a pit fight with this guy, Moses Modred Mohammed, who's the biggest badass on the orphanage. Kind of like Michael Jai White in his, 17, 18 years old. And she has to fight him, and she wins. But she doesn't fight him with the scalpel. That's really kid lethal. And he shows up with a Yakuza short sword. Not Yakuza, a Japanese samurai short sword. And Naginata. No, Naginata is the big one. Naginata is the big, spear. Wakazashi. And there's Kodachi is the other name for it. He has a really short one, a Kodachi. And she says, "You're going to need a bigger sword than that." And he said, "I need a bigger opponent." And she shows off the scalpel, and that really pisses him off. I've almost got this. Hope I don't damage it. Not that it matters. I've never been a guy who chased money. I suppose I should have, because it would have given me the budget to do the stuff I want to do. But I realized a long time ago, it also would have made me a person I don't want to be. So that was never going to work for me. Here we go. It's coming out. There it is. We're going to look at this tomorrow, or maybe the next day. We've got another Tomb Raider to look at. But this is a 9/8, Something is Killing the Children by Jenny Frisson. You guys just watched me take it out of the plastic. And we will look at this tomorrow. Werther Dell'Edera does some very unique art. He has a very unique art style. So we will look at this tomorrow. It's very flat, but it's also very, the perspective is, even though it comes across as flat, like Greg Capullo, I think, has a very sort of flat style, but he's able to fit a lot in the frame. It's not, the guy who did Batman for so long, Scott McDaniel, has a very fisheye ability, like he can bend the frame, whereas Greg Capullo's frame is very flat. And I'm talking about the frame, I'm talking about like the camera frame, the camera lens, right? So some have a background that's very blurry. Go look at Michael Bancroft. Michael Bancroft's backgrounds are in perfect focus as much as the foreground. He does a really good job at it. So all these things are pretty cool to look at. Andy Park. Andy Park does amazing characters. Look at how movie star, this is, what is this, Brad Pitt and Angelina, Jessica Alba and Ryan Gosling, like this is, what more do you want? Beautiful people doing beautiful things. Danger Girl, Tomb Raider, Witchblade. This is a great comment. What the fuck happened in the last 20 years? Get out of my culture, Jews. Get out of my culture. See you tomorrow.